watching, waiting. Don't look. He'll see you. Don't move. He'll hear you. Don't breathe. You're dead!
What do you say?
That's what I'm saying.
I like a fat ass wiener in my gullet. We're recording. Yeah, okay.
What's up, you little creeps, and welcome back to another episode of Welcome to Creepy Camp. I am Sean, and that guy is Chandler.
I like wieners in my gullet. You know? It's a great, just a solid.
Nice.
What a good start. Speaking of wieners, do ghosts have them? What a sec. Okay, I'm done. I'm just fucking. I don't know. Shut the fuck up.
You went straight to ghost wieners.
Hey, episode's about ghost. I was talking about wieners.
So you're assuming that ghosts aren't asexual?
I don't know. Maybe they like wieners.
I mean, they can like wieners. Does it mean they have wieners?
It's a great question.
Exactly.
I mean,
but to quote the great Donald Darko, what's the point of living if you don't have a dick?
I mean, what's a fuck ass? You know what I mean? So it's like,
that's what I'm saying.
The better question is, well, if you're a ghost, right? Do you die and become like, if you get do you draw the short stick, right? And you just become one of the orb thingies that can just float around and do nothing?
Yeah.
Or can you actually become like a demon if you did some deep shit? Or do you become like one of those ghosts who can only like move a vibrator off your nightstand?
I don't know. I don't know if there's like a classification on what you did and how you passed away.
I'm curious.
Or if you're Italian, passed away. I don't know if there's yeah, I know. But is there the ghost that does this?
Some GabaGHOUL.
I mean, technically, he is a GabaGHOUL.
Damn. Yo,
so
band name, right?
Hard.
Okay. GabaGHOUL, but it's GHOUL.
Okay. For those of you who don't know, me and Chandler have a list of band names that we've made up on my phone, and it is currently, this makes 659 on this list.
Quality.
Nice.
We're almost at 700.
We're almost at 700. It's crazy.
You guys might judge us a bit if you actually heard most of the names, but we're gonna coin them all so that way no one can take them. So if anybody needs an indie band name, if you need an idea of any kind, we got
$1,000 a piece.
Yeah, we're your boys. We're gonna charge for them because they're pretty damn good. Some
inflation.
Better than others. Yeah, some better than others, but yo, we broke out here, so we need help.
It's funny when you were talking about like do ghost like wieners. I had a thought today about ghost. Do you ever think there's a sheet? No. Do you ever think there's a sheet ghost that got a stain on their sheet?
Like a nut stain?
No, just a stain. Like does like a ghost use like a Tide pen on their sheet?
Is the sheet physical or is it part of the ghost?
Okay, so in like the Michael Myers Bob Ghost sense, it's physical because it's a bed sheet. But then the other sense where it's just like, that's what a ghost looks like.
Like a ghost. Like,
yeah.
Does a ghost story have that? I mean, if it's a physical thing, now I'm more curious because where did he get the sheet? Did you just take a random sheet from a bed?
Does it
just sort of appear when you become a ghost and you just get given a sheet that you put over yourself and then instantly just become one with the sheet? If you run a black light over the sheet, is it just a bunch of nut? Like a nutty sheet? Write that down. Band name.
Nutty sheet.
I
still think my favorite sheet ghost is Charlie Brown's sheet ghost because it has way too many holes in it. And he got a rock. So
way too many holes in it, much like my ass.
So calm SpongeBob.
Damn. Yo, that's a good pickup line. I'm about to have you like SpongeBob up in here creating too many holes in your ass. But if you putting holes in someone's ass, that's a little weird.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about that. Can you put holes in someone's ass like Swiss cheese?
I don't know. I'm not sure. So, what would you do if you were a ghost?
Jerk off.
Okay. Well, in the sense that you mentioned earlier. So, first off, here we'll do each. If you were an orb, and you are, I don't want to say stuck. That's not the word, but like you can only be an orb.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I just
you can't manifest like
that's fine.
anything
That's
else.
fine. That's
Just
fine.
an orb.
I would simply reenact. Can you say things or like make noise?
Like, hey, it's me.
Okay, that's all I need. Yeah, that's
Okay.
all I need. So I would simply, since I'm orb shaped, I'm spherical or at least oblong of some like oval-ish.
Yeah.
So as an orb, right? I would just reenact the a potato flew around and just make people's fans do this.
That's pretty
But,
sick.
but like really inconveniently, like when you don't want the fan on, and I just do that, but in the background, all you hear is a potato flew around. And that's
Okay. So now you died a good death, and now you can manifest, but you're still good.
okay. So what do you mean manifest?
Like
I'm
you can
basically I'm basically my form, but in ghost.
in Ghost. Yeah. So like Casper.
Okay.
You're like Casper, but you're still good. You have no ill intentions on anybody.
Okay. I would still reenact. No.
So it all goes back to Frank Ocean.
Yeah, so I just
Okay, cool.
I want to bring awareness to potatoes and how they can fly around rooms. No,
They also have a bunch of eyes.
this is true. I don't know. If I was a friendly ghost, what would I do? Like I wouldn't troll people, I guess, because I'm a friendly ghost.
Yeah, but you can friendly troll people. I troll
Here,
you all the time.
here you go. Here you go. Ready? Ready? Okay, here we go. I travel, however ghosts travel. I'd go to BYU, right? And for those couples that don't have a soaking partner, right? Uh, they'd get on the bed. I'd be my ghost self. They wouldn't know. And I would go underneath the bed and I would do the ghostly pushing for the soakers.
A spooky soak.
I hate that.
A spooky soaky.
Write that down. I absolutely despise that. But yeah, a spooky soaky. If y'all want merch with a spooky soaky on it, and it's just a sponge.
Absolutely.
It's just a sponge.
If we
nothing
don't
else.
if we don't get that in BYU's store,
Spooky soaky.
can you imagine?
Just
That's the Halloween shirt. Spooky soaker.
we gotta come up with like some type of design for that. I don't know what it would be.
I mean, super soaker is already good.
Super soaker?
Yeah,
Or
but it's like a white Christian person with like a cape on.
So
But
if you go to BYU,
well, hang on. I'm gonna fix that because we can't put SS on the cape. We are not allowed to do that. So,
didn't think about that.
I did. real fast.
That would have been bad. That's a good catch. It's a
Yeah.
good catch.
It just says soaker on it.
As a Mormon, right? How many bodies do you have to get in order to become the status of super soaker?
2.
Okay, so if you're 1, you're just soaker. 2 is super soaker, and then 3+ is
You go to hell. That's it.
There's got to be some.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that the tier list?
That's
Just
what it is
super
right now.
Soaker, then hell. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So now, whoa, what?
You get 2 soaky wokies.
Soaky wokies. I hate that too.
You're welcome.
Oh, that's what they call the Republicans at BYU. Soaky wokies. Okay. Now the fun part. You're malevolent. You were an evil spirit.
Okay.
Who's the first person you're haunting, and what do you decide to do first?
Oh, that's a good question. So a portion of me wants to say you just because it'd be funny.
Oh, I'm haunting your ass too, bud. Don't.
But
Okay, so us aside,
About to say you already haunt my ass, if you know what I mean.
Uh,
Country boys.
boys,
So
multiple. God dang.
super soaker status, bro. I'm just saying,
Hmm.
you know what I mean? What do I shit? Who would I haunt?
Well,
Can
her
I haunt?
name starts with a D.
Well, I wasn't okay. X is obviously the go-to, but
Yeah.
like a portion of me is also like I'd like to haunt some evil ass human being that's not my ex. More like I don't know, like I can just travel over to like North Korea and fuck with Kim Jong Un. You know what I mean? Or just like,
You could.
or just dude, it'd be funny as shit to be evil and then just fuck with Putin, like Donald Trump, and just make his hairpiece fall off all the time, and like in inconvenient times. Um, I don't know what all I can get away with. Like, what all am I a powerful ass spirit?
Yes.
Oh, damn. Can I kill people?
No.
Hmm.
But
Okay,
you
so I.
can possess people. You're
Oh,
malevolent and powerful enough to possess somebody.
I can possess people. Yo, that's dangerous.
Okay, so we'll make the rule: one possession a day.
Oh, that's a lot. Uh, oh shit. Who do I possess? Uh, you go first. I can't think of anything for that one. You have.
Um,
Well, first off, answer the first ones. If you were an orb, what would you do?
um, I thought I had an answer, and I don't.
You're fucking up.
I know.
If
I
you
think there's a
were,
bunch of things you could do, like be in a ball pit, act like
but you're,
tall man's like special ball.
but you're a ghost. So technically, are you like, you're almost transparent, pretty much. So in a ball pit, you really wouldn't be that noticeable. If your phantasm's tall man's ball, it's not going to do anything. It's just going to pass through people.
Okay.
You could be Lance Armstrong's missing nut.
He's a piece of shit, so we don't want to talk about him. I saw an
Touche.
interview. I saw an interview yesterday. I'm not happy
Oh,
about it.
I don't think I've seen that interview, but touche.
Let's see. What would I do if I was a fucking orb?
Play imaginary baseball.
I could be like a skee ball.
That'd be pretty sick. But then you'd be like, you'd be getting thrown around a lot unless you like that. But I don't know. Can you knock shit over as an orb?
I don't think so.
Can you like just photobomb everybody? Like you just be seeing shit and then like you just appear in funny places, like a
I'm
dude's
always
balls.
appearing in the front. I'm never
Yeah,
gonna be in the back.
yeah, just like right in
Um,
front of his face. You know, always blurring out someone's ugly ass face,
I like it.
making them think they have a big forehead or some shit. I don't know.
Okay.
You got
If
options.
if I'm a good ghost, um,
A potato flew around.
shout out to Frank Ocean. We miss you.
For real, make a fucking album, bro.
What am I doing as a good ghost? I'll probably just like pet dogs.
Just pet dogs.
Yeah, and I'll pet all the service dogs because you know how like you're not allowed to touch them. I'm gonna do it because you won't know that I'm there.
Yo, idea, right? Good ghost. I get to finally pet a fucking manatee because it's illegal in Florida to pet them, but all they want is cuddles. So
I
I'll
like
get
it.
my ghosty ass in the water. He won't be able to see me, but I'll give him some butt scratches and tail scratches and finally get to touch a fucking manatee.
That sounds like a great idea.
Goals.
And if I'm malevolent on the easy side,
Sure.
if I see a child with a balloon, I'm cutting it.
Oh, that's funny as shit.
I'm cutting it.
Can I trip children? Or like knock their ice cream out of? That's a good one. Anything involving trolling a child is so good. I didn't think of that at all. Like just push one over like a little hill.
Yeah, like
or
tie their shoes together, like a
tie their
Harry
shoes
Potter.
Yeah, or like they got an ice cream cone, just like sort of smash it in the face. Maybe I don't know. Dunk their head in a fish tank. You got options, you know.
How
I
are you
don't
going to
know.
get them to the
I
fish
don't
tank?
know. I don't. I'm an evil demon. I can do what I want.
Okay, fair. Yeah, if I'm going to like haunt somebody,
Kim Kardashian. The entire
Oh, I
Kardashian
was gonna say like Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I'm gonna have her say the N-word during a C-SPAN
Oh, that's
thing.
good.
Like I'm going to
That's good.
ruin everybody.
Yeah, that's good. Honestly, I didn't think about that. We can use it like in political. Yeah, like make any stupid politicians just say that.
Yeah.
Um,
Say anything and everything terrible.
or like I like to do the cha-cha. Like
Like a
basically
sissy girl.
basically reenact Bruce Almighty, but just make it way more vulgar and worse.
Yes,
I like it.
I agree.
I like the idea.
Okay.
Okay.
You want to get in? You want to get in on some ghosts?
I don't know what that means.
Oh no, we had people submit their experiences. This is where we're gonna start. This is from our friend Anne. Hi, Anne. Chandler misses you. This says used to have a ghost of my childhood home who would sit to the side of my bedroom doorway at night and peek its head in and out like it's playing peekaboo. It resembled a young boy.
I play peekaboo all the time with your booty hole.
Boo.
Hi, Haley.
You're dumb.
Boo. just boo.
You're dumb.
I just like boo.
Um,
Repeat that. So there was a child that did what?
would stand in the bedroom doorway at night and peek its head in and out like it was playing peekaboo.
Did she explain what the ghost looked like or anything like that?
Young boy.
Oh man, Catholic priests would love that shit. So you think they would go towards the ghost at that point? They'd be like, ooh.
Yeah,
That.
of course.
Okay.
I don't care.
So okay, one, anything involving spooky like ghost children? No.
I'm good.
I had somewhat of a similar experience like that because I remember when I first moved back home, I moved in with my parents again after college. And one night, this is the only time this has really happened to me, where I've been so. You ever been so terrified that you legitimately scream? Like not in like a haunt, like or something like that. Like in a
Every time I see a
legitimate.
spider.
Touche.
Every time.
Touche. So I remember I was chilling in my bed. It was late at night. I was sort of in that sleepy, delirious state where I need to go to bed, but I wasn't for some reason. And uh it was dark as shit. There were no lights on in my room, whatever. I did have some laundry at one point, like chilling in sort of like the middle of my
Oh
bed
yeah, it's
frame towards
never a
me.
pile of laundry once it's on a
Y-
chair.
Yeah,
No
exactly.
way.
So at one point, that's what I initially thought it was, right? So I was just like, oh, whatever. My eyes started closing. I fell asleep for a little bit,
Okay.
and I woke up like 40 minutes later. It's like 3 a.m. And I'm like sleepy as shit, delirious. I'm just sort of in that waking up groggy state, like what just happened. Worse, it's 3 a.m. and you're like, when did I fall asleep? I don't remember that.
Fair.
And all I see at the end of my bed that was not in the same spot as the laundry, take in mind, was a dark figure in the shape of a child. And it was just looking directly at me. And it was an exact silhouette of a child. Like it was no mistaking it. And I remember just sitting up as if I was like the Undertaker in WWE. Not
Oh
the man,
yeah.
not the manic laugh to Brock Lesnar.
You
Not
should
that
have. Maybe it would have gone away.
probably. But I did that, and I physically yelled like loud as shit. Think I woke my parents up if I remember correctly because they're like, "What the fuck was that?" And I'm like, "Sorry, I'm okay." But that's
Chandler
the
said, "Go away,
yes. Go away,
stupid boy."
bitch. Silly little ghost, little slithery little snake, silly banana. And it disappeared ultimately as I yelled, and that's sort of when my entire brain function woke up. And that's the only time I physically have yelled out loud from an experience like that. Not a fun time. Don't recommend it to anybody.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I said anybody. That don't make sense.
Not like that. Yeah, if I don't know if I see like a kid in the door, I'm gonna get up and just close the door.
Oh, like in the hallway?
No, it's in the doorway of the bedroom.
Oh,
So
so
I just close the door.
you have the balls to get up and approach it?
bro, you act like I'm not turning on the closest light to me and my iPhone flashlight and everything else.
Hypothetical. iPhone's across the room because you had to set an alarm and you want to wake up. No lights near you.
Hypothetical. You know how I am with alarms, so there ain't no way my iPhone is across
It's
the
a
room.
hypothetical
Okay,
situation,
so
bro.
I'm gonna hop off the bed by like a couple feet because obviously I don't want the things under the bed to get me either.
Good
We're
luck.
just gonna run screaming naked and moan at the ghost, and hopefully scare them enough to leave my room.
Okay, so one, you're naked running at a ghost. Are you
Yes.
are you slinging your dick around, or are you just sort of
No.
like running at it?
No, we're just running.
Okay, two,
This is for fitness. This isn't
Shoot.
for
hitting this dick
like
in your mouth. Okay, yeah.
it's not for enjoyment. This is like fight or flight.
Okay, fight or flight. It's a better question. It's a ghost child, right? So if you're running at a ghost child ass naked, does that imply anything else?
I didn't ask for a ghost to be there, let alone a child ghost. So you're meeting the same fate as any ghost.
Hey, just a legitimate question. I don't know if it has other implications.
I'm gonna pull the Zach Baggins. It's me, your boy, and then we're gonna we're gonna give him the sweet chin music, and then shut the door.
I just kicked Stan, and then
Stan's ghost.
Yeah, just kick the ghost. About it. I mean, to be honest, I think my first instinct if I saw a ghost like close to me would be to do some type of WWE move to it.
Oh, 100%.
Like we doing like a DDT, like an RKO, like anything in that realm.
I agree.
Of a quick finish, much like my nickname in high school. Then
that's not what they called you in high school.
They called me stuff I cannot say out here anymore. Unfortunately, high school and COD lobbies growing up, just all the time. Wore white skinny jeans, had a good old time. People loved me in high school. Just great.
Yeah, they made fun of you for sure. So you should haunt them. Haunt your bullies.
It's fun. They probably suck now anyway.
Most likely.
Okay, next.
This one's from Rob. Hello, Rob.
Hi, Rob. We love you.
My condo was built on burial grounds. First off, why?
No.
And I had a little ghost girl that would laugh and bounce a ball in my room at 3 a.m. This is when I was 7 years old. I mean, that's all I ever really experienced. It was never malicious. She would literally come into my room, start laughing, bounce a ball, and then run away.
That's almost worse, to be honest.
I know. Absolutely the fuck not.
Like that's almost 20 times worse because you don't know if there's any malicious intent. So she just comes in and goes.
Yeah, the laugh is what like makes it inseparable. It's you are officially evil.
Yeah, like if she was just chilling, bouncing a ball and just sort of going whatever and then leaves, who cares? She's laughing. I assume it was like a playful laugh, like I'm having fun, not like
you never know.
But regardless, once again, ghost child. No.
Yeah, I don't want to hear a laugh while I'm sleeping ever, regardless of who it is.
I'll just do my clown laugh for you while you sleep. Just get
You're gonna wake up under the dirt.
Real close to the mic.
You're going to wake up under the earth.
Just a little ooh woo in your ear, and that's it.
Oh, Dakota came too? God dang, that's crazy. Shout out to Dakota.
Everybody coming. You know
God dang.
Damn.
Something. Yeah.
But yeah, rubber ball or just ball, ghost kid. No. Also, does that just stop?
I guess it went on for a period of time and then he moved and that spirit stayed there, I guess. I don't know.
That was interesting to me. It's like if people see paranormal experiences or have paranormal experiences or see paranormal activity of any kind, like do you think it's in reference to the location? Or do you think like spirits like that travel?
That I don't know.
like if you're in a house and there's this, like, obviously some paranormal experience, right? Do you think that ghost is connected to that house?
Could be. Or it could travel. I mean, Jaws followed a family from New York to Florida. So it's very possible.
Ghost shark.
I mean,
Um,
a movie.
so I'm
So,
always curious about that. So, like, if you burn down the house, right? Does that piss the spirit off? Does it get rid of the spirit? We don't know. The Warrens are frauds, so we don't know anything anymore.
yep, nothing's real.
Everything you knew was a lie. So I don't know. The better question is actually, I'm curious. I sort of want to bring this into this before our next story,
Okay.
right? So we're both not religious.
Nope.
That's sort of obvious, right? Like I'm a very pretty strong-minded atheist.
Atheist, yeah.
Would assume you're probably in the same realm.
Yeah.
So with that being said, when it comes to paranormal experiences, have you had paranormal experiences
Luckily, I haven't.
like ever?
I mean, like, I've like heard weird stuff, but never like
Seen
seen a
something? Or whatever?
figure.
Okay, okay. But like, do you believe in paranormal experiences to an extent?
Oh yeah, I believe in ghosts for sure.
So the question's always interesting when people ask me that. Like, can paranormal experiences exist in a world without religion?
Um,
Like, do you think they're separate experiences?
I think so because like, I mean, granted, to me, I guess like a spirit could manifest or just be a thing, or could just be energy. You can
Yeah.
have energy in a room and it be full of spirits and you don't know,
Mhm.
but you're not gonna be like, God's in this room. Like, because
So
how can you prove it being any different?
exactly, it's like I'm sort of in the same boat. Like, I almost feel like I believe in paranormal experiences because ultimately they can't really be explained. That's sort of the purpose, right? Like, so
Yeah.
you can't prove whether they're science based or religious based. Like, I still don't believe in religion. I don't believe in God. I don't think that's necessarily a thing. However, when it comes to paranormal experiences, a lot of people will argue, well, how can you have one without the other? But in
Yep.
my head, I lean towards a more scientific or just a science based route to it. Like, there's something existing in that, whether it be energy, whether it be something. But in reality, if we can't explain it, then it's just beyond understanding at this
Yeah.
point. That doesn't necessarily mean, oh, there's a God. It could just be something afterlife that we have no fucking idea how it operates because when you're dead, you can't live to tell the story.
True.
So it's always an
Unless you're a ghost.
yeah. So it's always an interesting concept, to be honest. And I've always sort of explaining that to people is a little bit difficult, especially very religious people.
Oh, that's fair. I get
So
that.
it's always been an interesting concept, I guess you could say, because I have had some paranormal experiences that I can't explain to save my life.
Yeah, your haunted ass house. And the house before that. And the house before that.
I do have a habit of living in sort of spooky places. So my house growing up, 100% haunted, at least in certain areas. Had some weird experiences. We'll get into that later. Um, which one before that?
Did you have anything happen at the Davis Island house?
Oh yeah, that was the boy at the end of the bed.
Oh, cool.
That was really the only experience with that, even though there were definitely some weird things that had happened in between, but nothing drastic. And then obviously the house I'm in now, but I collect antique clowns.
Yeah, your house definitely has something in it.
So it's almost guaranteed there's probably something. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much the process in itself. So what a fun time.
Yippee.
Let, let's dive back into stories.
Okay, you ready for the fun one? This is Haley's sister, and I
Oh
already
god.
know their house is fucking haunted. Mariah, hello Mariah. She said, "In my parents' house, they have two shadow people who live here, but that's nothing new, and they're just living their lives. So like she sees them all the time. She's the only one who can see them in the house,
Okay.
but they're literally just there existing. Don't ever bother anybody. Um, but in the hallway is where he watches. He is in quotations. He's not a shadow person. I don't know what he is, but he's dark and has had horrible vibes coming off him and is always hiding in the shadows along the ceiling and the wall. He knows I can see him because he likes to watch my family in the living room. And the second our eyes meet, he goes down the hallway and disappears. And I've heard this from everyone in her family.
As in they've all seen it, or as in she's told the story?
Well, they can tell when she sees him.
Okay, so this is not like she just woke up and it's a sleep
Oh
paralysis.
no, this is like daily,
This is a daily occurrence.
or at least weekly. I hear about it a lot.
Does she believe like she's sort of like in that medium spectrum?
Oh, for sure. For sure. I'm most certain he's the one who did these next few things. So we actually have events, I guess. So I'm pretty sure I haven't heard any of these things because neither of them have mentioned events that he's caused.
Okay.
Um, Late one night, I was doing the dishes. It's right off the hallway. So they have their living room goes into like their dining room, then a long hallway where the bathroom and one of the bedrooms is, and then off to the kitchen.
Okay.
Um, I was alone. My dad and most siblings were in bed, and my mom was outside. I heard whispers, so I turned, and obviously there's nothing there. So I turned back to keep doing the dishes when suddenly, so hard on the back of my arm, the most painful slap. I screamed out and turned around, grabbing my arm, prepared to fight off whoever was there, and nothing. I went out to tell my mom, and she looked at my arm, or on the back of my arm, sorry, on the back of my upper arm, a red welt slap mark of a hand. She took pictures and I looked in the house and saw him up in the corner of the ceiling. And again, as soon as I saw him, he disappeared into the ceiling. Another time, I was sitting on the stairs after work. In our house, all the bedrooms are upstairs, including my parents. I was the only one upstairs. I heard clear as day Mariah, or Emre, which is one of her nicknames, which is the nickname my dad uses for me. It was loud. I got up to no hesitation. I ran into the room because his tone was urgent and immediately saw no one in the house. The door slammed behind me and I wasted no time getting the hell out of there. When I got downstairs, I remember my dad was 30 minutes away at work. Haley has also had this same occurrence of hearing her dad talk to her when he's not in the house. I don't
Just
know if it was
skinwalker
just
shit.
there to scare me or if I waited a second longer, what could have happened, but I still see the man in the hallway ceiling all the time. I notice his favorite people to watch are my sisters, particularly my little sister. So yeah, like from what I've heard from the family is Haley and her sister Julie are watched constantly. Like he'll walk up the stairs and stand outside their door.
But there's
And
only one person in the family
there's one malevolent, yeah,
who
and
can
she's
no, no,
the
no, no, no,
only
no.
one.
She's the only one who can see it.
Yep.
No one else in the family has
Nope.
seen it, correct?
Nope. Yeah.
Have they had any occurrences aside from her?
I mean, besides Haley hearing her own name, I don't know.
Okay, but Haley did hear
Yeah, has
her
heard
own
her
name
own
being
name
called
in her dad's voice.
when her dad was not home.
Yeah.
That's some skinwalker
Straight
shit.
up mimic shit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the shit that I don't like. I see
Yeah, that
videos of
shit's
that
scary,
shit,
bro.
like when people are like, "I'm literally in my room hearing someone talk, and I am the only one home," and then they like
Yeah.
film it, and they're hearing shit. That's
Yeah.
straight mimic skinwalker
There's a
shit.
girl we follow. I'm blanking on her name. If I can find the link, I'll put it in there. But she lives in like North Appalachia.
Mm.
And like she put up a story not too long ago and she's like, "Oh yeah, there's a girl who like lives in my house. We're like pretty tame with each other. If she's being loud, I can be like, "Hey, can you like be quiet?" and she'll stop." But she said like this was like a couple weeks ago. She's like, "I heard a mimic and I chased it through the house."
Oh my
And
lord,
I'm like, "Dude, I'm leaving. I'm leaving."
burning the house down.
Yep.
Like I can't even fathom that. Like I don't think that's ever happened to me. Not that I can think of, at least. But like the fact that she's the only one that sees it is like frightening, but
Yeah.
obviously Haley has an occurrence of when it happened. The better question is though, it's like, has she seen it do anything malevolent or evil towards them or threaten them while she
Um
watches?
From what I've been told, no, but I do know that like he, according to her, he like looms over people if they're sitting on the couch.
Okay.
Like he'll be behind them looking down on them from behind the couch.
Can she explain what it looks like?
I don't think she ever has.
It's just sort of like a dark figure type situation, I wonder.
Yeah, and I think he's relatively tall as well.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know what I'd do in a situation like that. It's also more of like, once again, can that be explained by science of any kind? Or is this something that just is out of anyone's experience to obviously say, I don't know what the fuck's going on? So it's
And I
always
don't want to find the fuck out.
right? So it's always interesting too, though. But it's obviously interesting more so the fact that Haley had an experience. The question is, was her sister also home, and does she think it was the same thing, or does she think it was something else?
I think she was the only one home at that point, from what I remember.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, mimic shit's like the one thing,
Yeah, that
like
shit's
the
creepy.
yeah, like the movie The Dark and the Wicked, right? Like when it would just mimic people all the time to
Yep.
get in the house or to like to fuck with people to get them to come out of the house. Like that's terrifying because like
Mhm.
a ghost doing physical harm to somebody, one thing, sure, that's scary. A ghost mimicking other people to fuck with your psyche,
Yeah.
horrifying.
Crazy.
Like something about that just gets under my skin way more than anything else, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I can't say I've ever seen anything of like a physical embodiment of something that I'm looking at and do something or anything like that. I have had friends have like their hair move without anybody being there and touching it, or like
Mm-mm.
they felt something. Um, I remember I had one at the house I grew up in, which was like this old, like sort of like bungalow, like plantation style home, like that was built in the '90s. It was huge. And I remember I threw a party. This is Quentin. I didn't know you at this time, but Quentin is who it happened to. Ask him. I wonder if he still remembers this.
Oh, I'm
Uh,
sure he
yeah.
remembers that.
But so we had the house, right? In the house, you went out to the back porch. This back porch, that's where the pool was, but this porch was elevated, and that's what led out to like a guest house in the back. So it was all covered. And I was throwing a party. So I had a bunch of friends over. I had like 8 or 10 friends over, something like that. And we were all chilling in the back, going to the pool, hanging out. A lot of us took a break from the pool and we were hanging out in the guest house. Or no, this was right before we were about to go in the pool. So we were hanging out in the guest house and people were getting changed, doing whatever. And Quentin was like, okay, I'll go change inside because the bathrooms are taken up. So he went inside the main house. And my parents, right, have a bathroom that would then lead into their massive closet that was this L shape, right? It was like
Yeah.
one long hallway, 90-degree angle to another long hallway, sliding doors on both sides, pocket doors. And Quinn went to go change. We didn't think anything of it. We were just hanging back there, doing whatever, getting ready, waiting for everybody. And I remember specifically, I've never seen a man run faster in my entire life. Like homeboy had his clothes in his hand, like a bag in the other to put his like dirty clothes in or something like that, and was like Usain Bolt sprinting down the balcony or like the deck. And he opens the door. He looked pale as shit. Um, which for reference, everybody, Quentin is black. So that was saying something. And he looked pale as fuck. And I think the first thing I uttered to him was, dude, it looks like you've seen a ghost. And without hesitation, I'm pretty sure he went, I fucking did. And I'm like, what do you mean? And
That's
so
crazy.
he said he was in the middle of the closet, sort of like where the 90-degree angle meets, just sort of changing, looking at shit, whatever. And simultaneously, with no warning, both of the pocket doors, which were open, because I think my parents were gone at this time or whatever. So he's like, oh, I can just change freely, whatever. Were open, slammed on themselves at the same
Mm-mm.
time and
Nope.
like slam hard. Like not, oh, they just accidentally closed. Like they slam hard as shit with force. And he said he was so terrified, if I remember correctly, that he didn't even want to go towards the doors and open them. But he said, fuck it, ran, swung that shit open, and then just hauled. Um, Obviously, no one saw it.
Of
So
course,
I
yeah.
have no idea. But based on what he told me and his genuine reaction of when he came back, like it looked legitimate. And still to this day, I always tell that story because it's terrifying.
If I was ever stuck in that situation, like how they do it in cartoons, if someone runs like through a wall and it's like their body shape, that's me through the door.
He just busting through a wall like
I'm going. Oh
busting
yeah.
busting through that shit like Kool-Aid, man, bro. Um,
Or yeah, like That's no fucking joke, bro.
Shit's ridiculous. So I have another story too. I'll go on in a bit. We'll go over some more first, but
We didn't have many
I
stories
I, I have
submitted.
some. I think I
Okay,
have some
yeah, because you posted a
others.
couple different places. So,
Did you have any specific one other than the ones we already went?
no, I only had 3.
Okay.
Phony.
My friend Ashley, I know, submitted one. I haven't read this, so I'm not. I think she just gave me outlines. So let's see how this goes. Okay, so she said, "Oh my God, haunted dolls, literally the scariest." So we already know that's going to be a fun one.
Cool. I love that.
We both hate dolls, so which is ironic. I hate dolls, but you put a doll in clown makeup and it doesn't scare me. Makes no sense. It's weird.
Yeah, like Victorian girl dolls are terrifying.
Dude, like the porcelain ones with like the black eyes. Nope. That and Cabbage Patch. Those things terrify me. I don't like them.
Yeah, they're pretty terrifying for sure.
Cabbage Patch ones are like the really realistic ones, right?
I mean, yeah, they look like children. Yeah, they got
Right?
like
Yeah.
the really like fat faces.
Yeah, they look like legitimate children. I hate
Yeah.
that. Okay, let's see. Ashley says, I'll read this word for word too. So, my best ghost story is the house I used to live in back home. Every night at 3 a.m., I was woken up by a blood curdling scream in my ear.
No.
Then stuff like cupboard
Mm-mm.
doors would fly open, more than one at the same time. Whenever my roommates and I got into some kind of heated discussion, happened more frequently after moving in. Light bulbs would explode, and one time I was chopping carrots. Shout out to the dark and the wicked, and slammed the knife down to use my hands to gesture something, and the knife turned from 12 to 6 to 3 to 9 and flew off the counter and across the kitchen into the wall. We all screamed we all screamed and ran outside. The ladies who lived upstairs came out and said, "Oh, so you've met it." Oh my lord. Oh, and she said, "Oh, and a wet spot would happen in the wall like it was bleeding through the wall, but it was just water that the landlord could never source or fix." Very weird.
Okay, so I've always wondered, and like I watched a movie last night that did the same thing. Is 3 o'clock like the witching hour? Because every movie that does some haunting thing that's based on time, it's always
Like at
like
3
3
a.m. or
o'clock.
something like that.
Yeah.
When
Because the one that I watched last night was 3:23 a.m. I've seen other movies where it's 3:22 a.m.,
let me see.
but it's always between
Oh
3
yeah.
and 3:30.
Yeah, the witching hour is often said to take place between midnight and 3 a.m. or between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. But
Yeah.
the timing is debated. Some say it's midnight because it marks the start of a new day, while others believe it's 3 a.m. is best because it's 12 hours after Jesus' death on the cross. Interesting. I actually never knew where that came from.
Interesting.
I literally never knew that until now. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So the weird thing about that, right? So physical things flying, etc. If I saw that,
I'm
one,
leaving.
I'm leaving, but also wouldn't know what the fuck to do. Couldn't explain it. There's
No.
no explanation for that. It happens. It happened. So that's one thing. The fact that they screamed and the elderly women said, "You've met it," is the more terrifying thing to me because
I
they
want to
were
know their stories.
exactly. So they're clearly aware something's going on and has been happening.
Yeah.
The better question is, do they have stories from it actually happening to them? Or have they lived there so long that they've seen multiple people get drawn out of this place because of what is going
How cheap was the rent, Ashley?
on?
How cheap was the rent?
Like that shit better be 500 under. Like maybe that's probably why it was actually cheap. Now thinking about it, like that's horrifying. Like the cupboards and okay, a light bulb being unturned or something like that. A light bulb
Exploding?
exploding.
I mean, I could see it if they're like, because there's rare occurrences where that happens. It has to be like a surge of electricity to go through a light bulb to make it
Exactly.
explode.
But what causes that surge of electricity? So it's like it's a little questionable, you know? Like, I don't know. Like if I saw a light bulb physically explode and glass shattered everywhere along with any of this stuff happening, go fuck yourself. Absolutely not.
Like, I mean, I think the light bulb would freak me out. The blood curdling scream in my ear
Yeah, that
has
one's
sent me to the afterlife. There is no waking up. I'm dead.
yeah, that's
If
interesting. I wonder if it's like, is it she said when she was sleeping. Yeah, she'd be woken up. Every night at 3 a.m. I was woken up by a blood curdling scream in my ear. So like You're sleeping. It's 3 a.m. You're deep sleep, and you get woken up by a loud ass scream. She said "in," so like next to her ear. What?
That's what I'm saying. I'm not waking up because I am dead now. I am deceased. Put me in the ground.
Like I've had instances like that where, oh my bad. I've had instances like that where it was a dream, and I woke myself up. But you can tell the difference between what was in your
Oh,
head and
for
what was
sure.
physically outside yelling in.
Yeah.
So at that point, I don't fucking
And
know.
see, like when it comes to that, I don't see any difference between a scream or a whisper. If I hear anything in my ear,
I almost feel like
if you're within 100 feet of me, you're getting swung on.
I almost feel like a whisper is worse.
Oh, whisper's definitely worse.
Like someone just flat out yelling, obviously terrifying, but someone just going, "Wait," like, fuck off.
Nope. I don't like that at all. I just got goosebumps. I don't like that.
Sorry. I wouldn't be able to sleep. There's just no way.
Yeah.
But the thing is, where do you go? Like, what? How do you? No one's gonna believe you.
To get the gun.
But what can a gun do against ghosts?
Blam.
Oh, okay.
They're gonna meet another ghost, and bitch, it's me.
It's like I'm going to kill myself to fight this thing that is trolling me
in the afterlife for sure.
Worth it. Let's go.
God, dude, I couldn't imagine that shit.
Oh God, this one's interesting. My other friend, I think just sent me one. Hold on, let me double check this real quick. Yeah, so my other friend sent me one. This one's long. Oh, she sent me photos and shit. Interesting. Okay, this one's long, so bear with me. Okay, you want to go to the next story? Is that?
Oh yeah, you're good. I'm just shocked that she sent pictures.
Like she sent video and photos. So we'll see about this. All right. Oh, it already starts out great. Ready? Here we go. We lived on a Native American. Oh wait, hold on.
Yep, that's it. That's all you had to say.
I needed. We lived. Hold on. Where is it? Let me go back up. We lived on a Native American battlefield. The Battle of 4 Lakes was in the Washington state. One Halloween, while my folks were out of town, I stopped by their house on the hill, and my cousin was there doing some work on the kitchen. I was all dressed up as Wednesday Addams, and I said out loud, I hope I really get scared by something this Halloween. I want to be spooked out. That's where you went wrong.
Yeah, you welcomed it. That's it.
Wrong thing to say in the damn house. Like 2 a.m., I was leaving the house parties and didn't want to drive back to my house in the city. So I stopped at my folks' house and went to sleep in their bedroom since they were gone. Well, the next morning, around 7 a.m., I hear walking, like someone shuffling and pounding their feet, walking into my parents' room through the driveway. Through the doorway. I sat up. I looked and nothing was there. Being that it's surrounded by forest and farmland, I thought maybe it was a deer walking by outside. But deep down, I knew better. So I laid back down.
Since you said that, all I picture is like a deer walking into her bedroom.
Hello.
I mean, I'd be pretty scared if I opened my eyes to see a deer in my bedroom too.
Any animal looking at me in the face, if it's in my room and I'm not aware or it's not supposed to be there, I'm probably gonna be scared, to be honest. Unless it's like a
it's the deer from Without a Paddle, the one that like growls. No bueno.
I forgot that movie existed for a second. Golden.
Banger.
Okay. Not 1 minute later, the shuffling picked up where it left off, at the end of the bed, and shuffled all the way down to the other side of the bed, like it was about to crawl in bed. I sat there, eyes wide open, and as it came to the end of the shuffle walk on the carpet, it jumped and went bang so loud on the ground like it jumped and stomped both its feet. Man, I had to run out of the room and house, but the problem is I had to run past whatever it was. I ran so hard and didn't look back and out the fucking door. That's when activity started for me and never stopped. It burned down last year in a wildfire. My dad said the natives claimed their land back. And yeah.
Good for them. We love that.
She said, oh yeah, I'm Native American, a tribe and all, so I know how to play with these spirits. And then she sent me photos, hold on, of like like what the outside looks like, and it's like just this
No,
forest
no,
ass environment,
no.
and
Hey, I know this is kind of like messed up, but I'm so glad your house burned down. Like,
like just out in the middle of nowhere in the forest and shit. Like, no,
your
thank you.
parents made a terrible decision living there.
She said that's where the house used to be. I have insane stories from that house, and that was only just one of them.
That's
This is
crazy.
I think that's like the remnants of the house itself.
Couldn't pay me enough.
That is wild, dude.
Couldn't
Anything
pay
with
me.
like Native American burial grounds and stuff like that, like obviously, like anything in like the Appalachian area is terrifying because I mean I have a Wendigo tattooed on me, and that's literally where the Native American folklore of the Wendigo pretty much comes from.
Yeah.
So it always makes me wonder. It's like obviously folklore comes from a million different things and gets passed down from generations and whatever. But part of me wants to believe, is it real?
Well, there's also the difference between like thinking something is cool and then seeing it.
Yeah.
Like Bigfoot, I'm like, yo, big dope hairy dude in the woods that's been hiding forever. Dope. Do I want to see one? No, the fuck I don't. But like, I mean, it's the same with fucking anything, bro. Loch Ness monster, you'd be like, oh, that's a dinosaur, and you're like, why is there a dinosaur in this one
a body
fucking
of water.
waterway in Scotland that's
It's
still seen?
Yeah, it's more scary that it's just isolated by itself. Why is it still there? Why is it alone? Where's the rest?
Yeah, I guess it's like because I mean, it's a conspiracy theory in the end, but like it plays with your imagination. You're like, do I think this thing's fucking real? Like when people discredit like Megalodon or anything like that, I was like, 90% of our ocean is undiscovered. So
if there's anything that exists and we are not aware of it, or there's rumors about it, it exists in the ocean.
And the government already said that aliens exist. So
yeah, I love how we sort of just
move past it.
Yeah, like just breeze.
I mean, granted, I feel like because we already knew, and then the government was like, got us.
Like distraction. It's like, bitch, we already knew this. Like,
yeah, we already knew.
We're poor right now. Like the economy sucks. Like lower gas prices, bitch. Like we don't care. Like aliens, we knew. It's fine.
Yeah.
But like aliens are one thing. I'm like 100% positive there's no way we're alone in the world.
For sure.
I remember reading like a sentence the other day. It was sort of like a just two like scary sentences or whatever the hell on TikTok, and it was or scary two sentences or like whatever. And it was like there's two facts in this world. Either we're alone in the universe or we're not alone in the universe. And I'm not sure which one's scarier. And I was like,
sure.
That's interesting to think about. Like, imagine if we are the only species in this entire world, like, or like humans, whatever. You get what I mean. But like, that's sort of frightening because of the unknown. Like, no one's coming to help us. No one's coming to save us. We're by ourselves. If we go extinct, we did it to ourselves.
Of course. I mean, we're gonna do it to ourselves anyway. Let's be real.
We're already past that. But like, it's an interesting concept to think. So I think aliens 100% exist. I mean, it's technically been confirmed at this point. There's so many like unexplainable things that all tend to match up. Like, it just makes sense. I'd much rather believe in aliens first than I'd believe in aliens first way before I believed in God.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like there's more evidence. It just makes more sense. So it's an interesting concept, but obviously we haven't explored how much of all the galaxies that exist.
Like the aliens thing has always been kind of crazy to me, but it's here's the point I've always made. I've told you a million times. The government would not spend 50 years covering some shit up if it wasn't real. We wouldn't have secret bases out in the middle of the fucking desert underground if we weren't covering something up. Y'all aren't slick. There's a reason we can't fucking go in there.
Like Area 51 does exist, unless it's a complete distraction from other shit for some reason, or they're using it.
But what is it though?
Yeah, or they're using it as some top secret base to do fucked up shit, which might make sense. But and just
I
be
mean,
like,
we already
oh,
had Montauk, so
right, true. But at that point, they might just be like, "Oh, aliens, distraction." In reality, we're doing really messed up shit underneath the surface, or planning for
who
an
knows?
apocalypse. Who knows? The government's doing shit behind our back. I'm sure that we have no
Of
fucking idea
course,
about.
always.
It makes sense. I don't know. So it's an interesting concept overall. Have you had any type of paranormal experience? Heard some?
Not really.
Well, you have at my house.
Oh yeah, I hear footsteps in your hallway all the time.
Like, you also didn't a chair move outside or something one time, like in the patio, in the
Oh yeah,
patio
your
area.
patio chair definitely moved for sure.
Like, just just sort of went, "Eh," or like
Yeah,
got
and
pushed.
the mirror shattered in your bathroom.
That okay, that one's a bit of a freak accident. I don't know if I can go like I can claim that was paranormal because it was hanging on by a nail that really wasn't secure. So I think it was meant to do that at some point and it just happened. But at the same time, I feel like it would have had to have been at least lifted off that nail a little bit.
The other mirror that you hung up afterward hasn't fallen yet, so
More secure?
but yeah, the chair in your what used to be carport, that definitely moved.
What's the weirdest thing you've had happened in my house?
I definitely hear footsteps. They're not like super heavy, but
But
it's
they're
like,
like they sound like footsteps?
oh yeah, because like, okay, for those of you who don't know, when I sleep at Chandler's house, I sleep on the couch in the living room, and the from the front door goes straight down the hallway, and then all the bedrooms are to the left or the right, including the bathroom. So I sleep with my head toward the hallway. So if there was
You're
any,
not, but you're not looking at the hallway. You're
no,
looking
I'm
this
facing like
way.
where the door is. Yeah.
Okay.
So if there's anything behind me, I'm
You don't
gonna
know,
hear it.
but you can hear it. Yeah.
I'm gonna hear it. Yeah, I've definitely heard footsteps in your house before.
Are they like consistent patterns?
No, just
Hmm.
enough. Because,
Interesting.
like, I mean, granted, like I've learned the sounds that my house makes.
Mhm.
You've learned the sounds that your house makes, like when your water heater kicks on, when your air kicks on.
My ice maker.
Yeah, that too. But you recognize those sounds, so those can be like debunked.
Yeah.
But it's just like if it's dead quiet and I'm hearing some stuff,
And it's not consistent though,
it's
right?
not consistent.
Like they change.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Because like my ex, she had the same experience when I was gone, and I remember she called me crying, like hysterical, and I
That
was
was
just
the
like,
knocking, right? Or was that footsteps
it
too?
was both technically. So I remember I was not home. I don't know where I was. I'm getting chills even thinking about this right now because like my hallway's right behind me. Fuck.
Yeah. If you look behind Chandler
Ah,
too, when you're looking at him, his right, that hallway.
right there. So now I'm just petrified. Lovely. Gonna have a good time sleeping the night.
Yeah.
So and I still have to edit and shit, and I'm probably gonna watch a movie. So with that being said, yes, she called me and I had never heard her this upset. And I was just like,
Yeah.
"Oh shit. What happened? Did you get hurt? Did someone pass away? Like what's going on?" And I don't remember how late it was. It wasn't super late, but it was definitely dark outside. And I
Enough.
think
Yeah.
and I think she was just in her living room just sort of watching a movie or reading a book or something like that. And I come home because she was basically just come home, I'll explain when I get here. I'm like, okay. So I came home right away, I didn't really question it. And she was just like, I'm terrified because I every time it goes silent, I keep hearing knocking on the wall. And it wasn't like consistent like pipes in the wall or something like that. It would be like a dut 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 dut, like literally like someone was
Mm-hmm.
controlling it almost. And she said she kept hearing footsteps and shuffling down the hallway. And I was just like, lovely. Okay. Let's assess the
Yep.
situation. Because I'm not one to
Yeah.
devalue
Just
that
of
because I
course.
because I believe in that shit. So I was like, okay. So we sat in the living room. I stayed as quiet as possible. And I sure enough, I was like, okay, it's gonna not do it while I'm here because
Of
typically
course. Yeah.
in any of those situations, like if the presence of something else comes, it's probably not gonna happen. Sure enough, it happened. I heard the knocking and it was very apparent. It was not my
Which is
fridge.
funny. I've never heard the knocking in your house before.
Yeah, like I don't really know how to explain it. Like it was very apparent it was not my fridge, but it only happened twice, like very subtly. But then the footsteps I 100% heard. And I was just but that was it only happened one time and then completely stopped.
Yeah.
And since then, I'm literally terrified looking back now. Since then it's never happened again. Knock on wood. And I don't think it has until you said something about it, etc. So I've never heard it aside from that time when I was with someone else.
Yeah.
So very interesting experience, not a fun experience. That was also prior to me having any of the clowns I have and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Not a fan.
You should ask Chris if you ever heard noises in the house.
Oh, Chris Zoller, who owned my house previously.
Yeah.
That would be interesting, actually. Maybe that's why he sold it to me. He was like,
Maybe.
"You have this. Have a good time." It's
Yeah.
like, okay,
And that's why like I don't like and I do it everywhere. I don't like sleeping in complete silence because your brain picks every sound ever.
dude. They're like,
It's the worst.
I need like brown noise at this point or something. Like, I like when I kick the AC on because I know it's going to run for a bit, so that's sort of a background noise.
Yeah.
Usually, I'll have my fan on, which tends to have some type of noise sometimes, and then I'll literally sleep with brown noise, which just sort of calms my head and prevents me from overthinking. But I can understand why people have the TV on a lot too, because it's sort of it's consistent noise.
I set the sleep timer for 2 hours because I know I'll knock out before that even ends.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
by the time it shuts the TV off, I'm already knocked out.
Yeah. So like at that point, it just makes sense. Sometimes I can't fall asleep to TV all the time just because it's not consistent enough. It's almost because it's different shit all the time. So it sort of fucks with my head. Whereas brown noise, it's the same sort of pitch
That's true.
consistently. So it's like a background noise and I can sort of like calm down from that. That's a more recent thing. I used to be able to sleep in direct silence all the time. The issue
That's
is
psycho shit.
but that's the funny thing, right? I never slept that well. I had a hard time falling asleep. But when I put like ASMR on, or if I put brown noise on, or something like that, I've noticed I fall asleep way quicker.
Oh yeah.
So
Because
maybe,
your brain's like focused on like a constant
yeah. So
and
I
you
mean,
can fall asleep. Makes
exactly. So
sense.
it makes way more sense. So I've been doing that a lot. Like even like rain sounds are really convenient as white as that is. But it's just
Mm,
nice. It's just nice to have something
yeah.
aside from snoring. Can't do that. No, thank you.
Yeah. Cannot just sit in the dark.
I don't
I've
like
tried.
I
It's
don't like that.
scary.
Yeah, no, like even like sitting in a pitch black room with nothing going on, just in silence.
Uh-uh.
Honestly, your brain will fuck with you more than anything else.
Yeah.
It will
And
create
usually like
scenarios.
I fall asleep like on my stomach with like my head turned.
That's already psychopathic, but yeah,
It's not.
stomach sleepers are the weirdest people in the world. I don't get you.
I'm not just gonna sleep on my back.
Are you not like crushing your I feel like when I sleep on my stomach, like I can't breathe that well because like I feel like my Adam's apple is like
No, like
compressed.
so usually the way I sleep if I'm gonna sleep on my stomach as I have trying to picture myself laying
Are
down.
you doing like the sexy flamingo pose on your stomach? Or are you doing like flat forward
Yeah, yeah,
stomach?
kind of. So if I'm laying on my stomach, usually like my left leg is at least somewhat bent,
Okay.
and then my head is flat on the right side. So I'm usually looking toward the left.
Okay. But do you have like a leg? You have a leg up, like 90-degree
Yeah,
angle,
or yeah.
like the sort of like
I
ooh.
think that's the most comfortable sleeping position.
Everybody does, but I do that. But like I'm not on my stomach. Technically, I think I'm on my side. Technically, when I do it, I have to think about that now. I
I
actually
mean, if
don't
you're on
know.
your like, it only takes 2 seconds to roll onto your stomach. So like you're probably on your side, but it's probably almost
It's sort of like
almost
yeah, it's like an in between. Like
yeah,
I'm
you're
sort
like
of
an
like
almost
crunched
stomach
over a little
sleeper.
bit because I roll my leg over to like
Yeah,
be in that bent position. Or
yeah.
sometimes I'll even sleep on my back and then like I put one of my legs up and angle it like it looks like a flag, like a triangle, and then like
Oh,
my other
I
leg straight. I just
have
do
I
that.
ever showed you that sleeping position? If you sleep on your back, take You can do it with either leg. You take like I don't know what the part of your foot is called, where like your foot meets your ankle, that little divot.
Yeah.
If you
The
put
he-
that,
the heel.
no, top side.
Oh, okay.
If you take that and rest that in your knee ditch, it just fits there. It's
Oh yeah,
so
yeah.
comfortable to
I
sleep that
I
way.
do that. I don't sleep that way, but I do that when I sit a lot. Like
Okay.
I'll lift that leg up and put it under my knee ditch, so like a crevice. Have I ever slept like that? I think I've slept like yeah, I've slept like
I
that.
mean, you know me. I can just
Yeah.
lay down.
Well, yeah, you're a fucking heathen and fall asleep like in a matter of 2 fucking seconds, which
Yeah.
I've never understood in my entire life how you do it. Like
Too blessed to be stressed.
this man falls asleep during a movie like it just I won't even notice it until his breathing stops. If I look over every now and then, I see his eyes getting heavy. That or he'll try to be slick and try to look like he's getting comfy when I know he's laying down.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, I know he's going to be knocked out in 2 seconds, and it always happens. He just gone,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll literally just lean over and be like, bedtime, and then we'll finish the movie tomorrow, and then we just go to bed. He's like, okay. It's usually on Fridays when he has a long day at work, and he's
Yeah.
like, I can watch a movie, and I'm like, you're gonna knock the fuck out. You tired? I know you
Yep,
are.
you're damn right.
So I feel that it's like after I play like 5 hours of pickleball, and I'm like, I can do this. No, I'll do that tonight probably. I'll be like, I'm gonna stay up late and edit and watch a movie, and then it's gonna be like 2 a.m. I'll be like,
And do an Exuma review. I mean,
I do need to do that. Hey, I did a review.
I know.
That is
And
a
it was sick.
stepping stone.
And it was sick because I haven't seen it yet. I know I put it on my list after seeing Ginger's review, but I hadn't checked it out yet.
It was pretty fun. You'll enjoy it. For those of you who have not seen it, watch Killer Body Count on Tubi. Just sort of a fun Gen Z-esque religious discovering your sexuality type slasher. Pretty fun. Decent plot twist. Acting's okay. I could not get it out of my head. That main
The
actress
Topanga girl
is straight up Topanga reincarnated. Like unbelievable. Like
Yeah,
that's the
that's
whole
crazy.
time I was thinking about it. But literally the horniest movie I've ever watched. Like it was just I think the main concept of that film was very much the preacher's daughter
Yeah,
concept.
of
Like
course.
if you grow up under like a religious thumb, you end up just doing much worse shit. And dude, all these people, these kids were just they just horny. Like they just like, I want to nut all the time. Like homeboy at one point just jerked off in a confessional, and then he just holds his hand up and it's just goo,
Sticky?
just gooey as fuck. Like, and he just goes, and you hear like the wet sound on the
I hate
floor.
that.
And I'm just like, y'all, man, y'all horny as shit. Y'all breaking like horror movie 101 rules here. Y'all just fucking y'all dying. So it's like, not my problem. You're doing it to yourself. I mean, you got a good view as you went out. Good for you. But like, just saying. There's also one death in the movie where I don't know if this was planned or not, but one girl took a ball to the face. Not like a testicle, but a ball like weapon just to the face and died. And I'm like, was that meant to be a joke? Like, did she take a ball to the face? Is that what you're
And
telling me right
died.
now? Yeah. Or like the killer liked using a lot of like, I don't even know what they were, to be dead honest. I think they were like lead pipes cut into certain extensions, and he used them as like javelins. So he was
Interesting.
shafting people.
Ooh.
And I'm just like, are all these sexual? And I'm just not looking into it.
It's very possible.
And so, yeah. So, because I'm trying to think of all the deaths, and like from what I can remember, no, because the first one was just a knife, but
Was it a sexy knife?
it was a dagger. But he technically split him in half, if you know what I mean.
I like it.
He got up in them guts, like the aggro crag guts. If y'all didn't watch that show when you grew up, you fucked up.
Missing out for sure.
Fucking aging myself.
You never gave a shit about a kid from France until he's climbing aggro crag.
Dude, that show
never.
The show is so good.
Banger.
Like so good.
Before we finish up, do you want to touch on some ghost movies real quick?
First off, Ghost Ship sucks. For any of y'all who think Ghost Ship is a good movie, it's not. It has a great opening, and that's it. The rest of the movie is doo-doo caca pee-pee.
I agree with you 100, and I feel like most people agree.
Yeah. In recent years, or just in recent memory,
I just pulled up ghost horror movies.
Oh, there's so many.
The Conjuring, Bathsheba, sick. Like obviously the scene of her spinning in the chair, iconic.
The first two Conjurings are good films. Okay.
Yeah.
Are they overhyped a bit? Yes, but I think the first one still remains true.
I mean, that was peak Blumhouse.
Yeah,
right
like
there.
that's like when Blumhouse really had a grip on the world. And
yeah,
like
it was
what they were doing.
Conjuring, Insidious, Sinister.
It's before James Wan was an idiot making bad movies. So I don't know. Like it was a fun universe. The acting was fun. You introduced the Warrens in this environment, and it was cool. But like the third one, I thought the third one was just not good at all.
Yeah.
And then like everything else within that universe has become so convoluted that it's no longer good. Like the Nun series, dog shit. La Llorona, dog shit. Not the Mexican one. The actual Mexican one's pretty good. Annabelle, dog shit. Annabelle Creation's good, but the original is terrible. So it's like, what are you creating within this universe? Like at this point, you got to realize like enough is enough. You know, you haven't made. I don't think there's been a good Conjuring series movie since
the
Annabelle Creation.
Oh yeah, in the universe. Yeah, I agree.
Probably.
Yeah.
Like unless I'm missing something, but that's really
I don't
about
think
it.
so.
And a lot of people think Insidious is within the Conjuring universe, which I don't think
it is.
Yeah, I don't think they correlate at all. So, but Insidious, once again, first few, great. The first one's incredible. Honestly, the first one still holds up. Do I laugh when Darth Maul pops up out of nowhere?
Of course.
A little bit. I feel like you could have made him look a little bit different if you tried and had some originality, but you literally watched Star Wars and were like, that's
the guy.
There's no way you didn't. Like, it looks the same. Like, I thought he was going to pull a lightsaber out of his fucking ass. Like, aside from that.
Maybe he did in the director's cut.
Maybe. That's true. Or blooper.
Director's cut. Get it? Cut. Lightsaber. Makes sense. 13 Ghosts.
Classic.
Who's your favorite ghost? You can just say it. Jackal. That's fine.
Titties.
Oh, Princess.
Titties.
She's terrifying, bro.
Her name's not Princess. It's Titties. Just saying. I call it the titty ghost. Everyone else, if I said, yo, you know that movie with the titty ghost? They'd instantly know what I'm talking about.
Of course. Yeah, she's terrifying. The Hammer's terrifying.
Wasn't she at was it Spookala or Spooky? Wasn't she a guest?
No, Shannon Elizabeth was.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I confused them because I thought for a second Shannon Elizabeth played her, and I was like,
nah.
I'm like, that's not you. We saw your titties in American Pie, not 13 Ghost. They're nice.
Let's see what else is on here. We can get real sexy and talk about Patrick Swayze's ghost. You know, the fucking
a little you know.
And then she did a little bit of hand motion too.
I do some hand motion.
I'm not doing it. So don't
do it. Do it.
No, I refuse.
Commit to the bit.
He already did the cum. I don't need to do nothing.
That is a wild sentence. He already did the cum.
Yeah. Ghostbusters.
Classic as well.
Yeah, really, both of them. Well, honestly, 1 and 2.
Ghostbusters, especially for its time when it first came out, there was nothing like it.
No.
There's really nothing else like it.
So and now there's ectoplasm everywhere.
Dude, I'd be ectoplasm by myself. You know what I mean? Just an ectoplasm of. Not going to go there. All right. So, no, but Ghostbusters is great. I've always enjoyed it.
I was going to say a ghost story, but that's just sad.
Yeah. For those of you who haven't seen a ghost story from A24, like, don't expect this straight up horror film. It's just
sad.
It's sad. Like, it hits you in the feels. That movie is emotional. It's very good. It's slow, but it's well done and it's good. I don't. Also, recently, I talked to a friend today, and I called her out on it a little bit because I was curious. But she thought this isn't necessarily paranormal. I guess it could be sort of in that realm. But she thought I Saw the TV Glow was like the worst movie she's ever seen. And I was just like,
no.
how, first
Mm.
off, she was like, it's not a horror movie. I'm like, it's not meant to be a horror film. It has horror elements,
Yeah.
but it's not a horror movie. It was sort of mismarketed. But like, how do you think it's that bad of a it was so unique. It was good.
It's my number one of the year right now.
Yeah, it's
So.
definitely like I feel like it's definitely a movie person's movie, if that makes sense.
100%.
But at the same time, I can't see how anyone thinks it's bad. Like even if like the story wasn't for you and you didn't understand it a lot, etc. or whatever, and that's not meant to say like, oh, it's bad because you didn't get it. I hate that shit. But like, no, just more of like, even if you did not understand it or just whatever, like I'd still watching that movie was just sort of a pleasure, like just of how it was done.
That movie was
Like,
fucking beautiful.
yeah, like it was just done well. The dialogue was easy to understand and get. It just sort of it was a simplistic, well done movie. And the soundtrack banged and just
absolutely.
I don't know, stuff it just sort of bothered me.
It's
But
already on vinyl, which is fucking crazy.
that's also wild. But also then again, I don't know how much I trust the taste, given she also liked The New Strangers.
Oh, fair.
So I was like, taste is already questionable. This makes a little sense.
I didn't want to click on that. Sorry.
Got a P-Hub link up? What you doing?
No, I'm scrolling through the movies on Google and I clicked on a movie and I didn't mean to. The Others. You know, someone's favorite movie that after you know the twist doesn't matter ever again.
Who knew Nicole Kidman would be blessing our hearts in the movie theater from years to come?
Right. Hey, at least she's doing something.
I wonder, do you think she makes royalties off of that every time it
plays? I hope so.
Like, I guarantee if she was smart enough, given she's an experienced actor and a veteran actor or actress, she probably was like, I'm not doing this to get paid one time. You're going to pay me every time it plays
every single time. Yeah. I
guarantee
agree.
People got annoyed with it. That's why they shortened it, but she's still getting paid.
Bag.
Like,
huge bag.
No way she's not just making dumb money from that.
Right.
It's like every time someone's song plays, like it's got
yeah. The Shining, which I know you don't care for, you prefer Dr. Sleep. The girls and everyone else that's at the hotel are terrifying.
Which is sort of funny though. Like when I think paranormal film, for some reason The Shining doesn't come to mind, but in reality, that is a paranormal movie.
Yeah, 100%.
That's so
like there's
odd.
only 4 people that are alive.
Yeah.
In most of the movie.
That's so interesting. For some reason in my head, like it doesn't pop out as a ghost film, but like majority of the cast are ghost.
100%.
That's so weird to think about. But yes, I think Dr. Sleep is a much better film.
Rattle off a few here. Sixth Sense, classic.
Always a classic. Undefeated, honestly. Still holds up.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I watched it, though.
House is great.
Which one?
86.
That's not the Japanese one, right?
It is not the Japanese one.
Yeah. The Japanese one, I don't even know how to describe that movie. So
fucking weird.
Japanese. That's how you describe it. It's a Japanese horror film.
Yeah. And then we could talk about the big one, which is obviously back in the news now. Fucking Beetlejuice.
Yeah. I mean, the fun fact about me, and I'll probably get rolled for this. I didn't watch Beetlejuice for the first time until 3 years ago.
That's fucking
3.5 years ago. I never grew up with it. It just never crossed my mind. For some reason, I just never felt the need to watch it. I had always seen clips here and there. So I knew a lot about it. I knew the references. I got the jokes. But I never watched the full movie. And the same thing with The Nightmare Before Christmas. Not until like 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah, just never watched it. Yeah, I don't. Beetlejuice is fun. It's a great movie. The performance is great. It's really entertaining. It's like it's basic. It's just a comedy, basically.
Yeah, 100%.
But even though it's got its creepy moments, which I definitely like, I'm interested to see from a perspective of someone who only saw it 3 or 4 years ago, if I'll like the new one. Because I feel like people who are going to have a more diehard attachment to the original.
Oh yeah,
they're going to be a little more critical towards the new one. Whereas I think for me, it's just going to be like, we'll see if I enjoy this or not.
Yeah, you like people that grew up with it. Me, like you want to see how much stuff they brought back or make references to.
Well, obviously dark topic, but isn't the husband not in it because isn't the actor a pedophile? Yes,
he is.
Yeah,
that's why he's dead in the trailer. No spoiler.
Like literally
He's
dead in the
dead.
trailer because they said you're a sex offender, you gone.
Yeah. 100%.
Which I didn't know that. I had no idea about that story, so that was wild to find out.
Yeah.
Stop being pieces of shit, people. Just saying.
Agreed.
Stop it.
Or you can be dead in your next movie.
Damn. What is your favorite ghost film?
The Changeling. If I can count it as a ghost or it's haunted house.
I mean, it's a haunted house because of ghost, or is the house itself haunted?
I've always been trying to figure that out.
That's a tough. Yeah, now that I think about it, because obviously I never saw The Changeling until like last year, a couple years ago.
Fucking good.
Because he always talked about it, and obviously I'm not as savvy when it comes to older horror films a lot of the time, and so I was like, okay, I'll check it out. And a lot of the time when people hype up older horror films for me, it's like a lot of them don't stand the test of time for me. Like I'm pretty critical with that type of stuff. So like I don't have the nostalgic factor of seeing them when I was younger. So I don't have any attachment. So they don't hit as hard for me.
That's
but for some reason that movie it hit. It just hit. Like it was done so well and so enjoyable and it's genuinely spooky. Like I don't know what it is about it. I don't know if it's the acting or just the overall premise of it, but it was just done very well.
Agreed.
Especially for just a haunted house film. Like, so I get it. When people say it's arguably one of the best haunted house films, like a legitimate house,
for sure.
It makes sense. But I assume it's got to be haunted from some paranormal based experience.
Okay, so Scary Movie 2.
That jacket's tight, son.
Yeah, me.
Yeah,
now run that shit, bitch.
I was really quoting that shit the other day.
You ain't never seen nothing until you've seen David Cross race
legend
a ghost in a wheelchair in the hallway of a mansion.
I was literally talking about this with someone the other day. I was like, I need a scary movie marathon. But then we were also talking about like, you cannot remake those movies. You just can't. They're gonna try, but
they're gonna try. And then you show them one scene in Scary Movie 4 and you know you can't remake them.
It just doesn't make sense. Also, fun fact, someone was doing I don't know why this came up. I think it's because of Scary Movie. I said Scary Movie 4, which made me think of Scream 4. So for some reason in my head, right, someone was doing a ranking of movies, but they had to guess the chronological order of what year they came out.
It's probably Pat.
It was Pat. And
because he's done like 5 of them now.
Yeah. Shout out to Pat, by the way. Kit Laser on TikTok. Homie, friend. Love you, dude. But he was doing it, and I think he did Insidious, like the first Insidious, which was like 2009 or 10. And then he said Scream 4. And I'm like, okay, Scream 4 came out way before that, right? No, Scream 4 came out in 2011.
Yeah.
What the fuck? In my head, Scream 4 came out in like early 2000s.
Nope.
That could blew my mind. I'm like, oh, he's so wrong. Because he was like, oh, I think it came out after. I'm like, there's no fucking way. I was wrong as shit. I don't know why I thought it came out early. It just feels like any Scream film, aside from the last 2, came out forever ago. But I also think to myself, Scream 4, that was 13 years ago.
I feel like a lot of those like late 90s, early 2000s horror movies just kind of blend into each other. Like, look at it this way. So Scream is 96.
Yeah.
Right? I Know What You Did Last Summer is 97. Yep. Final Destination is 2000.
Was it 2000 or 99?
Might be 99. I might be wrong.
Regardless.
But like, they all feel like they came out the same fucking year.
The exact same. And then Idle Hands sneaks in between there too.
I'm saying.
And then like all of those sort of late 90s, early 2000s cheesy ass horror. Honestly, I think that's an underrated section of horror.
Oh, 100%.
Are they great films? No. But are they enjoyable and memorable?
Funny as shit? Yeah.
Absolutely. Especially like I Know What You Did Last Summer, Cherry Falls, what's the Tooth Fairy one? Darkness Falls. Like all that shit.
Even that was 04.
Yeah, which feels like it easily could have been like 2099. Yeah. Like they're all in that element in that realm, so it makes sense. But like then the Texas Chainsaw remake is 03. Yep. So it's like, which was 21 years ago.
Yeah, time is a construct.
We old.
An enigma.
I literally think if I had to name my favorite, not final girl, so to speak, just biggest crush in any horror film,
you're going to say Jessica Biel. Yeah,
it would be Jessica Biel in 2003's Texas. Or or Homegirl that you showed me in that really shitty movie.
Which shitty movie?
Asylum? What?
Oh, Doom Asylum?
Doom Asylum. That movie sucked ass, but my God, she's attractive.
Kristen Davis.
Dude, something about 80s women. Props to y'all. Just, ooh. I don't know if it's the aesthetic, the glasses, the hair, all of it. Love of my life. I've never met you, but I'm single.
And on that, I'm gonna make Chandler a dating video that I will be posting on our TikTok at some point. So, ladies, if you're interested, hit my boy up. He can't cook, but that's okay.
Stop making fun of me for not cooking.
No,
not all of us grew up.
You're a grown ass man.
So there's a lot of grown ass people who don't cook. A lot. What's your point?
I can't make fun of them because I don't know them. So you're my best friend. I'm going to make fun of you.
Which ghost movie scared you the most? It's a hard question.
Let's take a look-see, shall we?
Let's see. What's a look-see? Goes to Letterboxd, sorts it by highest ranked.
No, I'm literally just looking through Google, honestly. Or
maybe the most initially when you first watched it. Doesn't necessarily have to be now, like if you've rewatched it.
Ringu?
Japanese or American? Honestly, I love the American remake.
Well, no. It's solid. I just think like it's the difference between Japanese film and American film, and you could definitely tell the difference. I think they're great American remakes, but God, Ju-on is fucking scary, bro.
Absolutely. The weird thing about both of those films, this is maybe a hot take. I don't know. I don't usually like American remakes. Obviously, that's apparent from both of us, but something about the American remake of The Ring specifically, and I think it might be nostalgic or like nostalgia bias or recency bias or whatever you want to call it. That movie, that was one of the first horror films I ever watched, and it terrified me. I didn't want to answer the phone, and it stuck with me for a long time. I rewatched it again like a few years ago. Did it hold up as well? No. Is it still really good? Yes. But there are drastic differences, like you said, between the Japanese one and the American one. But for some reason, when I watched the Japanese one over, it almost felt a little cheesy.
Oh, it definitely is. For sure.
To the point where it sort of took me out of the I'm scared element, whereas the American one just sort of stays
I get that.
in that realm, even though watching it back, the acting was still a little questionable at times.
Of course.
But it's also, when did The Ring come out? That's also early 2000s, isn't it?
The American Ring was 2002.
God. Oh, we're old.
Yep.
So
my bones hurt.
Yeah, but I think The Ring definitely had one of my the longest impacts on me. If that's considered paranormal, right?
No,
she's a
100%.
ghost. Samora's a ghost, right? So,
yeah, 100%.
That makes sense. All right.
They drowned her ass in a well.
Drowning that. Sign us off, bitch.
Okay. This is, I wasn't going to do this, but I just scrolled past it. Underrated ghost movie you should watch. Brooklyn 45.
Dude, I thoroughly enjoyed that movie.
I didn't expect to like it as much as I did.
Yeah, especially for a one setting movie. If you can pull that off and you do it well, that's so impressive to me.
And because you hate all the characters for a long time.
They all suck.
They all are awful people.
Suck, except for one, technically.
Yes.
But you don't ever find out if she does suck or not.
Yeah.
So you're like, I don't know. But yes, watch that movie. It's really fun. It's incredible. Definitely worth a watch. Also, watch Housebound. Fun, silly,
100%
fucking horror comedy that the director of Megan did back in the day.
Yes.
So good. Watch that.
And also watch Deadstream, which is probably in my top 10 favorite horror movies of all time.
I'm really I love how I slowly got to see the process of how that movie snuck into your top 10.
Oh, it's just so good.
That movie's so funny just because the first 30 minutes of it, you're like, God, this sucks. And then you're like, what the fuck? This is funny,
That's
dude.
what I hate when people like talk shit and they're like, the character's so annoying. I was like, did you watch the movie? He's supposed to be.
He's supposed to be an annoying influencer, but at the same time, that's why I don't like people who are like, I shut it off after the first 5 minutes. It's like,
Yeah,
okay,
it's
then
like
you
you
can't
can't.
make an opinion on it. Like, I've had
Agreed.
to battle through 2-hour-long horror films that were dog shit just to see if they did get better.
You can
Is
just
there
say Bloodhook. You can
I
just say it.
you read
You
my
could
mind.
say
But
it. Thank
you read
you.
it. But like it's tough. But at the same time, I have definitely seen movies that the first act bit slow. And then it
Drags,
just
yeah.
picked the fuck up. Like I can't think of something off the top of my head right now, but it's doable, especially with good writing. Building tension at the beginning is important, but it needs to get somewhere.
Yeah.
That's why I think the whole slow burn aspect has like it's gotten a little too much sometimes. Like I think directors do it just to do it, but I'm like, bro, you could have cut out 20 minutes of this story and still gotten to the same outcome.
Well, maybe it's like to get it in a theater, like not to just have it in like a
It has to be a certain length.
like a film festival release where you could
Yeah.
put out like a 50-minute film.
That's
You're not
true.
going to put a 50-minute film in a theater.
That's true. I didn't really think about
There's
that.
probably like a limitation. Like, hey, if you actually want this as a
has to be like
release,
at least 90 minutes type of scenario. I
Yeah.
guarantee, yeah, there probably is. You're right. I
so
didn't think about that.
they'll write extra or stretch scenes out that don't need to be.
But even movies that go directly to streaming or they know it's gonna or whatever, some are still way longer than they need to be.
Oh,
That's
agreed.
always gonna be my biggest complaint about movies. It's just pacing. Like
Yeah.
you don't need. I don't need to know every single backstory of every single human being, especially
Yeah.
if they're gonna end up dying within the first 10 minutes. I don't give a shit.
I
Like
agree.
it's just like just make it work. Like speed it up. If you're gonna make a
Yeah.
slasher, fucking make a slasher. Kill people. Do like like
45 minutes. Let's go.
But like that's what I'm worried about with In a Violent Nature. I've heard mixed things about it because a lot of it is just walking with him.
I'm
on your
excited to
shoulder.
hear the sound design though.
Yeah, like I've heard the
From
sound
what
design is
Chuck and
great.
Justin told me, yeah, because a video game studio did the sound design.
Yeah, and then also I've been told it's someone a reviewer I was watching the other day said it was soothing, and he didn't know what it meant. But then when you're behind him walking and like the consistent footsteps and everything's
Oh yeah, and they
like-
said that you can always either see and or hear the victim. So whether they're like in sight or not, you can always kind of tell where they are,
yeah, fair
which
enough.
is interesting.
We'll see. We'll see. I still think Long Legs is my my anticipated, but
Me too.
we'll figure
Especially
it out.
after watching Justin's review today.
Oh, I didn't even see his review today. Let me check
Yep.
it out. Man, why aren't we getting early this shit?
I fucking know. But
We don't
it's
have
okay.
100,000
We're-
followers. That's probably
We're
why.
trying. We're trying. We're doing good. We're on our way there.
We there.
But thank you guys so much for checking out another episode of Welcome to Creepy Camp. I know it's been like 2 months since we've done an episode, but we're pushing along on TikToks. Like that's cool, I guess.
I'm doing reviews again because
yay!
I've been busy and drained. So yeah, stuff.
True. But yeah, if you have suggestions for episodes, let us know across all our social medias. Follow us on YouTube and Instagram and Letterboxd. Everything is in the link tree in our TikTok bio. We have some stuff planned coming up. Still trying to figure out all the merch stuff.
If y'all want it, let us know.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't have anything else to say. Do you have any final words other than
Coco doodly doo?
Did you listen to me? I said other than.
You didn't say what the other than was.
I didn't get to it.
My point. So I got it out before you could.
Wow. Sounds like you did it a little, I don't know, premature.
Like my wiener.